Okay, so we just read the story Home by Carson Ellis, and we thought about all the different types of homes people live in. And I want you to think, if you could live in any home, what home might you live in? You're going to get a piece of paper, a pencil, and a Sharpie, and you can hold your paper up and down or side to side. I think I'm going to hold mine this way. And I think if I could live in any home, I love the ocean. So I think I would live in a sand castle. So I can think about the different types of lines that I can use. And I'm going to use a castle line for part of my sandcastle. Sandcastle-y line here. So now that I have my sandcastle home drawing, I am going to think about what kinds of textures I can add. And if you remember, we were learning about textures earlier, and textures are how something feels or looks like it might feel. So for water, I could do some wavy lines. Maybe there would be a mermaid tail flying out in the water in the ocean, and mermaids would have a scaly texture. So I could do some scales. The texture on my sandcastle might be sandy or bumpy or rough. So I could do some little bumpy textures to show that it's sand. And then maybe on my crab, he might have kind of a prickly shell. Gotta do a smile for him too. And then the ground might have some rocks and bumps. Now, if you do a tree house, you might have a rough texture for like the bark. If you're doing a really fancy mansion, maybe you would have some different lines for the roof, kind of like this. If you live in a beehive, maybe there would be bumpy lines for a texture. In a big building, there would be bricks that you would need to draw. If you lived in a house, maybe you would need to do the lines for the sides of the house. And this moon house, it has all different textures in the roof. So it's not enough just to draw your house. I also want you to add texture to your drawing. It could be prickly, bumpy, smooth, so many different kinds. When you're all done, you are going to trace all of your lines with a Sharpie, and then you are going to erase with the eraser. Great. Okay, great job, artists. Make sure you take a photo and upload it and save this somewhere safe so that we can come back to it tomorrow. Good job.